James Herriot actor Nicholas Ralph talked about the latest installment, which aired earlier this year in the form of a Christmas episode. The All Creatures Great and Small actor recalled how his character in the comforting Channel 5 series demonstrated he was growing up and becoming a man by carrying on with his family's festive traditions away from his home in Scotland. Although the concluding episode was emotional, Nicholas talked about being able to relate to the real-life inspired character. The poignant episode saw James replicating a family Christmas tradition while spending the season away from his loved ones. He carved a piece of wood into a calla and burned it to bring good luck in the new year. Speaking about the series on the Masterpiece Studio podcast, Nicholas talked about why this moment was symbolic. Despite his choice to remain in the Dales, James holds onto his roots, and he carves that winter woman like his dad does. "What did you make of that as a symbol for James?" asked podcast host Jace Lacob. "Yeah, as you say, it's holding on to those roots," the 32-year-old actor replied. "Home is where the heart is after all. I think even the man himself, James, Alf White, also known as James Herriot, was known as a Scotch vet. Because he never lost his Scottish accent even though he lived in the Dales for as long as he did, decades upon leaving Glasgow. So yes, he always just had that Scottish heritage, and also it's just a nod back to home and to his mum and dad, the family. Because usually his dad would do it and now James is doing it, and I think it's another signifier of him growing into that man. As finding his place in the world and what that means to him, you know, as building that as well. As building that for himself, and so I think yeah, it's another wee nod that, and that has becoming his own man, and it's his turn to make the calla and say the bit of Robbie Burns by the fireplace, and it's him growing up." Referring to the phone call James shared with his parents in the Christmas episode, Jace said the scene killed him. "How did you get into the headspace to channel that level of emotion, and what was the scene like to shoot?" he asked Nicholas. "Well, firstly, when we got the script though and I read it, I loved it. I thought the writing was just so good," the ACGAS star replied. "I completely understood where the character was coming from at that moment. I just thought it was brilliant." The Scottish actor laughed, and also, "I have very similar thoughts and feelings towards my parents. I was very lucky and very fortunate that they supported me when I decided I wanted to pursue acting. And they set me up for life in a great way, as well. So there were sentiments there that I could latch onto." The scene saw James feeling emotional as he spoke to his parents over the phone. He promised he'd go back to Glasgow soon to visit them. All Creatures Great and Small Season 3 will air later in 2022 on Channel 5.